Hello, my name is Angela, and back in October, I quit my cushy nursing job to pursue a full-time artist career. A few weeks later, I posted about it on YouTube, and fast forward to December, I was monetized, my inbox was regularly receiving brand deals, and my shop was making more sales than ever before. But let me tell you, it has been a wild ride, full of mistakes. But hopefully, since I learned everything the hard way, you won't have to. In this video, I'll go through everything I know to help you grow your small business. And I'll be sharing all these tips as I launch my Shopify after being on Etsy for a year. So if you're ready, grab your art supplies and join me as we take another big step in this insane small business journey. Let's see where it takes us. Hello, I only have 4 days to launch my shop because I am a literal moron. But if I can do it, any literal moron can do it too. And good news for you, you are not a moron, so you're already ahead. The reason why I only have 4 days to launch my shop is because I announced a launch date in my last vlog. And I want people to be able to buy from my Valentine's Day collection before February 14th. And in my defense, if you watched my last vlog, you would have already known my life was falling apart last month. That vlog ended on my birthday celebration and it was tied in a cute little bow for you, but of course, the next day, my whole entire family got norovirus. So for a full week, I was editing that video while fluids were coming out both my ends. Speaking of ends, all endings come with new beginnings. And if you're here, you're probably wondering, when should I start my small art business? I don't know if that was the worst or best transition into the educational part of my video, but we're rolling with it. There is no perfect answer for this. Some people start before they have an audience. Take Tammy Din from Uncomfy Co, for example. She is a very successful YouTuber and artist. She opened her Etsy with her social media because she figured if she's going to promote a product, she might as well have a link so people can purchase it. I, on the other hand, took a completely different route. I started my art Instagram in 2022 with no intention of starting a business. It wasn't until people commented asking for my prints that I started selling my art. I felt a lot more comfortable investing my time and money into this new endeavor knowing that there was some demand for my work. There are so many ways to start a new art business. I started when I was working as a full-time nurse, and most of your learning is going to be from doing the actual thing rather than just researching. All right, I'm on crunch time right now, so I have to get to work. Today, I'm going to be making all the products I need to take my product photos tomorrow. So yeah, let's get to work. The first thing you want to do before starting a small business is research. Find artists within your niche. What are they selling? How are they pricing it? And how are they marketing it? They already mapped it out for you, so take notes. Why walk the yellow brick road if there's a friggin' bullet train? You know what I'm saying? Additionally, if you find artists with a similar following, support them so you can grow together. When deciding what to sell, think, why would someone buy this? Pretty art isn't enough if you're just starting out. The best way to increase sales in the beginning stages is selling an item that solves a problem or serves a practical purpose. Magnetic bookmarks, for example, solve the problem of losing a page. Commissioned portraits are thoughtful gifts for special occasions. Stickers can be used to decorate journals, water bottles, etc. There are also minimal barriers for both you and the customer when it comes to stickers. Getting stickers manufactured is relatively cheap, and as a result, you can sell it at an affordable price. Your customer won't feel like it's a huge commitment because, unlike art prints, they won't need to invest in a higher priced item, buy a frame for it, or figure out where to put it on their limited wall space. With that being said, I sell art prints even though they don't sell as well because the profit margin is higher. To make your listing more enticing, you can make it a limited edition print or sell your prints in a bundle. You can also make prints that are meant for a specific space so your customer can envision your piece in their home. For example, people commented that they wanted my porta potty print for their bathroom, so that's how I promoted it, and that is exactly how people used my print after purchasing it. The next big question is how to price your work. While I can't give you an exact number, please do not feel pressured to price cheaper than your competitors. You aren't selling dookie, so why treat it that way? Assess production costs, conduct competitor analysis, and find a price that is fair and profitable. When people pay for your work, they aren't just paying for the cost of materials, they're investing in your years of art experience and the time it took designing and making the product. With that being said, don't price your items so high it won't be accessible to your specific audience either. Finding the right pricing might take some trial and error, so be patient and make changes when needed. I just realized all of my bookmarks are in the wrong orientation. Oh my god! How did I do that? You guys have no idea. I make like 1 billion bookmarks. It's my bestseller, and I don't know how I managed to screw up so many of them. You could still clamp it on the book, I think. I'm going to fix all of that and then get back to filming when I finish. I'll be back. Okay, all of my bookmarks are in the right orientation. I'm going to put magnets on them now. But moral of the story is, don't try to do a shop launch in 4 days because you will rush and you will make stupid mistakes like this that will cost you. Just breathe. We're zen. It's all good. It's just paper and laminate. You'll be okay. Okay, time to finish up these bookmarks. If you guys would like to learn how to make magnetic bookmarks as well, I will link a video on how I do that. Not like you have any reason to trust me on this, but if you're curious, it's there. All right, my bookmarks are done and ready to be photographed for tomorrow. Oh, thank God. First, we have this Valentine's Day pair. You can get these separately, but I think these are going to be the cutest Valentine's Day gift. Next up, we have our domesticated animals that are anxious just like us, even though they are no longer in the wild. So cute. And last but not least, our woodland animals. I love them. Before I move on to my next task, which is making stickers, I want to briefly go over the pros and cons of making things at home versus manufactured. Personally, I do a little bit of both. I make some things at home and I get my sticker sheets manufactured. The pros of making things at home is obviously you will have more control over the product. You also won't run the risk of having way too much inventory that might not sell. However, you do have to buy these expensive machines unless you want to do everything by hand, which is going to be very time consuming. You will also run the risk of making a lot of mistakes. It happens to the best of us. I personally think I make more mistakes than the average person. Having things manufactured, on the other hand, obviously means you're going to have professional results. When you get things manufactured, generally speaking, the more you buy, the lower each individual product will be. The problem here is, obviously, in the beginning, you don't want to be buying a ton of products because you don't know if it will sell. Consider the beginning stages a testing phase and try to reduce your risk as much as possible. Okay, next up, I'm going to be making stickers. I'm going to do a very broad tutorial because there are 1 billion ways to make stickers. Everybody has 1 billion different machines, but I'll show you how I do it and some alternatives I can think of. All right, let's get to work. You will need a cutting machine. If you're doing this by hand, get some scissors, an X-Acto knife, and a cutting mat. You'll also need sticker paper, and if you want your stickers to be more durable, get some laminate. Last but not least, you will need a printer to print on your sticker paper. The first thing you're going to do is fit as many stickers as possible onto one sheet of sticker paper. You can do this on your cutting machine software, but if you're doing this by hand and do not have any software, Photopea and Canva are free to use. Then you're going to print that baby out onto your sticker paper. Make sure you're printing on the correct side of the paper. I may or may not have printed on the wrong side before, and it made me really sad. I forgot to mention, prior to printing on any sticker paper, I will use a normal scrap piece of paper and print mini versions of my stickers. That way I can make sure that the colors are correct and edit as I need without feeling like I'm wasting tons of material. Okay, back to the tutorial. I use self-adhesive laminate. I just peel off a corner and stick it on, and then apply the rest with a squeegee and push out any bubbles. If you are using a cutting machine or an X-Acto knife, put your sticker paper on a cutting mat. But if you are just using scissors, all you need to do is cut your stickers out by hand and you're all done. I am using a cutting machine. Your settings will be different depending on your materials and the machine you use. Just make sure it cuts all the way through. I used 64s and 10 speed on my Julius Caesar. If you have another machine, this means nothing to you. Finally, you're just gonna peel it all off. I'm using a weeding tool, it just makes it easier for peeling, totally optional. And look how cute these came out, I'm obsessed. Next up, I'm gonna show you how to make sticker sheets. I hate doing this, but I figured you might wanna know how. On the inside, you're gonna do kiss cut settings, as in it's not gonna cut all the way through. On the outside, you're gonna have die cut settings. Think I cut right through your soul. You're dead. Die cut, okay? Kiss. It ain't gonna kill you, but it might take your breath away. Hopefully because homeboy is cute and not because he needs a breath mint. Kiss cut. here I am showing you the die cut. Ooh, wow. And then there is the kiss cut. Beautimous. Alright, I am done making my stickers. If you're curious on the design process of my sticker sheets and how I do that in Procreate, I go over a little bit of that in my previous vlog. The next thing I want to discuss is how to make art prints. I'm not releasing any art prints during this launch, but I know that a lot of you guys are probably interested in that. I use the printer that you've been seeing throughout this whole video. It's my Epson EcoTank 8500. I really like this printer because it also has a scanner and the ink lasts forever. I've been using this for over a year and I had to change the ink for the first time last night. If I am making an art print out of my paintings, I will scan it up first and then edit it in Lightroom either on my phone or my computer. I will then print it out on ultra premium matte paper from Epson. The only reason this printer works for me is because I haven't had any prints bigger than letter size. If your physical artwork is bigger than letter size or you want to make art prints that are bigger than that, I highly suggest you get it professionally digitized and scanned at a facility and printed there. Currently, I make all of my art prints from home, but as my business grows, I will definitely consider having it professionally printed. I am so sorry if I am boring you out of your mind. Okay, the last thing I want to do today is pack some Oopsie bags. One of the many great things that comes out of making a lot of mistakes is you have a lot of stuff to put in Oopsie bags. And let me tell you, people love the Oopsie bags. But I will talk more about it as I'm packing them. Okay. I put up Oopsie bags for the first time in my shop in November and they completely sold out. I think people really love a bundle deal and a good surprise. If you make a million mistakes like I do, I highly suggest you offer these. It's a great way to give these handcrafted goods a second chance at life. Also, if you are in the market for some perfectly imperfect stationery, all Oopsie bag proceeds from this launch will be donated to Red Cross towards their LA Fire's Disaster Relief Fund. I have finally finished everything I need to do for today. It is now almost 11 o'clock. Oh my god. I'm going to stop for today and I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Today is product photography day. I only have an hour to do this because my family's going hiking, but we're gonna get it done. I believe that the best product photography helps potential buyers envision what your product would look like in their daily lives. So if you're selling bookmarks, put it in a book. If you're selling stickers, stick it on something. And obviously make sure it's not an eyesore. But I'll give you tips as I go. My husband is going to help me take some of these photos because my hands will be preoccupied holding my stuff. Okay, let's get started.
Looking kind of dusty.
It's very dusty.
You're so dramatic.
Should I dust it right now? Or is it so blurry you can't tell?
It's gonna be blurry.
Okay. For my primary photos, I like taking clear close-up shots in really good lighting because when people are browsing, it's going to look pretty small on the website. If you don't have nice lights, just use the sun. For other photos, like I said, I like using my products, so I'll put stickers in my bullet journal with some washi tape. I also bought some super cheap fake flowers from Michael's to make it look more aesthetic. I ended up using the stickers from my sticker sheet on the envelopes of my postcard photos as well, and they turned out so cute. Also, if you want to take photos like these where there's a main in-focus product, just lay a bunch of them on a surface, then place the main one on top of something. I used my paper quarter rounder thingy, but you could use anything, and then decrease your f-stop for a blurry background. I unfortunately could not finish all my product photos today. It's okay, I'm gonna take some more tomorrow. I gotta go, my family's waiting for me, so I'll see you guys later. Hello! My life is currently a mess right now. Why did I sound like that? As I was saying, my life is currently a mess right now, but what else is new? Today is the day before my launch. I spent all day yesterday taking pictures and videos, editing, scripting, researching, and doing my listings, responding to emails, negotiating brand deals, and I'm still behind. I literally took no breaks with the exception of taking care of my dog and taking breaks from my bodily functions. In every video, I tell myself to slow down. But do I? Well, let's just say my sister is afraid I'm going to have a blood clot from sitting in front of my computer for so long. I've just been feeling very anxious and I'm giving the same energy as my cat illustration. But At the ATH art community, do we give up because we're feeling anxious? Do we freeze because we're feeling a negative emotion? No, we fight and we work until the bitter end. No, but seriously, if there are any artists, small business owners, content creator people out there who have managed to find balance in their lives, can you please tell me your secrets? But until I figure my life out, I will continue with my unhealthy working habits. Don't take after me. Today, my sister and I will be working on my Etsy and my Shopify, which is a great way to transition into the Etsy versus Shopify showdown. You guys have been asking me to compare the platforms, so let's get started. First off, we have Etsy. You know her, you shopped with her. She's like the popular, artsy, crystal-loving girlfriend who likes holding your hand through everything, okay? Etsy is extremely beginner-friendly because it's free to open an account. They remit sales tax for you, creating shipping labels is super easy, and it has its own audience. With that being said, most of the traffic on my Etsy site comes from me. On Etsy, you will be competing with a lot of other artists in now cheap generative AI. But Etsy still does bring some traffic, and those sales aren't nothing. So if you don't have your own audience, this might be a good route for you. The catch here is Etsy has fat fees. I think right now it's 6.5% of every sale you make. Plus, there is a 20-cent fee for every listing, and they will charge you for off-site ads that you didn't ask for. I also hear a lot of horror stories of people having their shops closed down for no reason, and that is the risk you take by not having control of your own website. So yes, Etsy holds your hand through everything, but she might slip her hand into your pants to steal your wallet. Shopify, on the other hand, is like a mentor who gives you all the tools you need to succeed, but also enjoys the baptism by fire method. You will learn things the hard way on Shopify, but you'll be better for it. In the beginning on Etsy, you might think 6.5% of each sale is not a lot, but it actually does add up. Shopify takes less of a cut per sale, and you get to fully customize your website. A bonus is that your listing won't be next to a weird AI image of a dog with too many teeth, you know? Also, huge thank you to my sister who designed my Shopify while I was doing a billion other things for the shop launch. My sister wanted to build her portfolio, and me, being the angel that I am, gave her the opportunity to make my website. No, but seriously, thank you so much, Anne. You are a perfect freaking angel. Unlike Anne, Shopify is not a perfect freaking angel. The upfront cost for Shopify is higher than Etsy. Plans start at $39 a month or $348 a year. And because you have to drive your own traffic for Shopify, it might be difficult for you to swing these fees in the beginning. Personally, my small business has grown to the point where my Etsy fees are higher than my Shopify fees, which is a huge blessing. And since Etsy isn't bringing most of my audience, I figured it was time to open my Shopify account. Something that does stress me out about Shopify though is taxes. Every artist's worst nightmare. Etsy automatically collects and remits sales tax for you, but Shopify does not. I'm going to get an accountant for the one time to figure out what I'm doing, because your girl is not going to do well in jail, okay? And for what? Selling cute cat stickers? Please. Speaking of nightmares, let's talk about shipping on both platforms. On Etsy, shipping is super integrated and international orders are even made easy. On Shopify, you get more freedom until you realize I have the freedom to really mess this up. Nice! So let's sum this up. Etsy is your BFF who helps you get started and holds your hand through everything but takes her cut and then some. But Shopify is going to make you do all the work, but you'll have more room to grow. So now that we've gone through everything, I'm sure you're wondering what I recommend. It really all depends on your budget and your goals. For me, I am personally doing both. My Shopify will be my main shop, and I'm keeping my Etsy open for international orders and for the little traffic they bring me. I predict that I will be closing my Etsy one day, but just not today. Next up, I want to briefly mention print on demand. I'm keeping it brief because I'm just starting out my print on demand journey with this launch. Peep my super cute t-shirts and tote bag. I'm not gonna lie, I've been living in this shirt. You can also accessorize.
Candy, do you like my shirt?
Next up, we have the Hoarder of Big Feelings tote bag. It's so cute. I hope you like the tote bag. Back to you, Professor Angela, on print on demand. Print on demand is basically the most passive and affordable way to start your small business without turning your space into a warehouse. As you can probably tell, my room is bursting at the seams. And I do not have space to hold any more inventory. Print-on-demand companies have a network of manufacturers who will print out your beautimous artwork on whatever your heart desires. Or whatever's on their catalog. Like mugs, apparel, posters, you get the idea. These manufacturers will also ship the product directly to the consumer. Because everything is made to order and the print-on-demand website usually chooses the manufacturer closest to the customer, it's more environmentally friendly. There is usually low to no upfront costs when you do this. However, there is a big, fat, juicy but. Every time you make a sale on print on demand, they take a big cut. And this is obviously because they have to pay for the labor and the materials it takes to make your product. Additionally, if somebody is buying a handmade product from you and then also a print on demand item, you're going to have to pay 2 shipping labels because these items are coming from 2 different places. Another con is that depending on the print-on-demand company you use, you might not be able to do quality checks because the sample you order might not come from the same manufacturer that makes the product that your customer receives. With that being said, I am no shirt maker. Whatever I make is probably going to be a little worse than the manufacturer. Some of the biggest print-on-demand companies that artists in our community are currently using are Printify, Printful, and Gelato. And if you're interested in only doing art prints, I've only heard good things about Finer Works. Alright, I hope that information was helpful to you, and I will see you tomorrow for launch day. It's launch day! I feel like in every vlog, you see me slowly deteriorating, and then I approach my final form, which is me, my super messy room, and in a sweatshirt, my pajamas. So, things are not going as planned, and that is just my life because I do this to myself. I am only launching my Etsy today because yesterday, my sister and I thought that we could do both Shopify and Etsy in the same day. We couldn't, okay? Classic me, always overestimating what I can do with the short amount of time I have. But Rome was not built in a day. And if you're thinking, girl, you ain't building no Rome, well, Shopify is my Roman empire. It's everything I think about, and I don't think I'll regret taking an extra day or 2 on the website. I am a firm believer in done is better than perfect, but right now, I don't got perfect or done, and that's okay. Alright, it is 11:48. I am going to just launch my Etsy early because I don't think anybody's actually waiting on my site for this, so let's do it. Yay! After you launch, you must tell the people that you've launched your shop because how the heck would they know? So I am just going to do an Instagram post. I got my first order! Thank you, David. You stay being my first order, I swear. He is my day one. Alright, so I am not someone who gets a billion orders on the first day because I do everything last minute. However, I do know that as I continue to market this, I will get more orders. So let's talk about marketing. Usually I script everything because if I don't, I glitch a lot. There are a lot of, but I didn't have time to do that. So we're doing this raw. Girl, what are you gonna say? Marketing. What do you know about marketing?
Bruh.
Okay, so as some of you guys already know, I was monetized within like 5 vlogs, which is crazy. And it's all thanks to you. So I'm going to give you all my tips so then we can grow together. Let's start with what not to do, which is to stop posting because your first video flopped, which is exactly what happened to me. My first video did not break 1,000 views for like a whole entire year. And I was so bummed because it was just a 4-minute video, but I took a whole week to work on that thing. I was learning my camera for the first time, learning editing software, and after I posted it, it just felt like I just threw it into the void. And I was so proud of it and was so bummed that nobody watched it. I was like embarrassed, and so I stopped posting for like 10 months. But what I should have done instead was analyze what had happened and continue posting. If I could talk to my past self, I would say this. Girl, let me hold your hand while I tell you this. Ain't nobody knows you, okay? Why would anybody watch a video that says, finding beauty in simplicity? What does that even mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Also, who are you trying to fool? When have you ever lived slow? What are you doing trying to be a cottagecore silent YouTube vlogger in a home that ain't even yours? So tip number 1, be yourself. I was being an aspirational YouTuber, as in I was trying to portray a character I wanted to be. In that moment, I was so burnt out balancing art and my nursing job. All I wanted was to hide in the woods and be that cottagecore girly, which is the opposite of who I am. However, I know a lot of people can relate to this. It takes me a lot of time to show my full chaotic self to everybody. So when I first started posting, I was extremely uncomfortable. And a lot of my friends and family noticed and they were like, that is not what you sound like. Why do you have a YouTuber voice? And it wasn't like I wanted to be fake in front of the camera, I just didn't know how to be me in front of the camera. And the only way you're gonna get more comfortable is just by doing it a bunch. And thanks to your really nice affirming comments, I just felt more comfortable being me. And I realized that's what people prefer. They like it when I'm messy, they like the dad jokes, and they don't mind me crying online. The next tip is when you're posting a video, you need to think, why is someone going to click on this video? Like I said before, they don't know you. In the beginning, when you're not sure who your audience is, pretend your audience is you, because chances are people in your audience are going to be people who relate to you. So I found ways to make my thumbnails and titles more relatable. And I was specific with who I wanted to target, which was artists like me, people who are feeling maybe a little lost, and people who are pursuing their dreams a little later in life. Another reason why a stranger might click on your video is for educational purposes. And if you're thinking, Angela, I have nothing to teach, I don't know anything, you shut your beautiful mouth, you talented queen. Yes, you do. You know things that other people do not. You don't have to master a skill to teach it. You just have to be better than some people at it. And because we are all unique and have our own strengths and unfair advantages, you have something to offer. For example, I am a beginner when it comes to filming and editing. I have not privated any of my vlogs, so my whole entire filming portfolio is online. And it ain't much. However, as a YouTuber, I wanted to learn how to make my vlogs more cinematic. And even if I'm not quite there yet, people started noticing the extra effort I put into my videos and started asking for tips. And you know me, I am an information sleuth, okay? I ain't gonna hide the goodies. So I shared my editing tips, and you could watch it in my last vlog, but people actually really appreciated that. Even YouTubers who I look up to who are way further along in their careers than I am valued what I had to say. What you know is valuable, so share it and let's all learn together in this community. In addition to adding educational value to your video, if you really want to hit that home run, you gotta implement storytelling. And the great thing is, if you're an artist, you are already a storyteller. Think of ways to make them feel like they're in the room with you. Show your environment, show your process. Find music that reflects how you're feeling in that moment. All right, next up, let's talk about Instagram and YouTube Shorts. Currently, I have 19,000 followers on Instagram, and I had a few reels do really well. With that being said, when you're posting on Instagram, don't shoot for virality, because you can't always control what the algorithm is gonna push out. What you can control is your consistency. If you post thinking that every post is going to blow up, you are going to be very discouraged, and it's going to be hard for you to be consistent. When it comes to short form content, quantity over quality. You guys have seen it before, my setup for making short form content is not cute.
Oh god, my body is not what it used to be.
On Instagram specifically, you're gonna want to post a lot of reels. When you post photos, it's more likely that Instagram is going to send it to your current following. However, if you post a reel, it's going to be sent out to your following and other people as well. I still post photos just to tell my community what's up, but I do it knowing that I'm not going to be building an audience through it. So I've stated the obvious, consistency on reels. Everybody talks about it, but how do you stay consistent? As artists, sometimes we feel pressure to be pumping out tons of art just so then we could show up on Instagram, but that will cause you to burn out. Art takes time. Repeat it with me.
Art takes time.
What I do is I collect a lot of B-roll footage of me painting, drawing. It doesn't have to be finished, but when you have a collection of B-roll, you could repurpose it and use it over and over and over again in different ways. And I've seen people apologize for reusing content, but literally nobody cares. And chances are they won't remember. You also always have new eyes on your videos, so don't feel bad for reusing your content. And when there are crickets in my brain, and I cannot think of any ideas to post. I will just grab a trending sound and slap videos on it. Literally just copy the trends. It's okay. Obviously, you don't want to base everything on trends because you start losing your voice. But there's no shame using a trending sound every once in a while, because there's a reason it's trending. People like it. Alright, so we've talked about YouTube, we talked about Instagram. But if you were like me and you were working a 9-to-5, running a small business, making art, and trying to be present on social media, you might not be able to be as consistent as you'd like to be. And that's okay. You know, in the beginning, test out different platforms, whatever. And the platform you should be prioritizing is the platform that has the highest conversion rate. Take note, I did not say the platform with the highest following. Some people make tons of sales on TikTok. That's not me. For me, I wish earlier on that I prioritized YouTube because my community on YouTube is more engaged. Even though my following is smaller on YouTube compared to my Instagram. I have had 2 reels on Instagram get over 1 million views. However, I didn't see a huge increase in sales until I started YouTube. Of course, becoming viral is going to increase your sales, but having a loyal following is going to give you even more sales. Okay, I'm gonna go eat real quick, but I'll be back. I'm back! The drama. Okay. So I recently put up a poll and asked you guys what you liked most about my vlogs. And the top answer was my tips, which is basically this whole entire video. Not only did I find out what you guys liked, I also found out that you guys literally hate seeing me pack orders. Not me dedicating like chunks of my video to packing orders. And not me doing it to you guys again today. Because I have some orders to pack, and also you guys asked me about my shipping and packaging process. So if you hate seeing me package orders, at least the tips and the yapping will happen, okay? But before I pack the orders, I need to get my life together because my room is a mess. So as I clean, I will give you all the tea on shipping and packaging. And if your room is messy too, you can clean with me. When I first opened my Etsy, I offered free shipping, but I quickly learned that there is no such thing as real free shipping because at the end of the day, the people delivering your orders are going to get paid. When big companies like Amazon offer free shipping, they cover the costs, but as a small business, this is unsustainable. For example, say someone buys one of my stickers for $3.50. Then I cover the cost of the envelope, the thank you card, the envelope seal, the physical shipping label I print on, and the shipping. According to my very accurate calculations, I maybe did not make like very much on that sale. So yeah, I charge for shipping now, and initially I felt guilty for it, but you have to remember that people are generally buying from your small business to support you, not to make you go bankrupt. Some businesses will inflate the prices of their products to cover for free shipping. In fact, Etsy suggests small businesses do this and will prioritize your listing if you provide free shipping. However, I like maintaining transparency so the customer knows exactly what they're paying for. Okay, let's move on to my actual packaging process. My thermal label printer is from Munbin, and it not only prints my shipping labels, it also prints my envelope seals with my logo on it, and my freebie stickers I put in every order that says, "Hello, I'm a dreamer." I've been printing my thank you cards from home, but I just put in an order to get them professionally printed. I put my socials on here with a little note, and I leave a space for me to handwrite the customer's name. The personalization is a small gesture that I think people really appreciate. Afterwards, I'll put the order in a clear plastic sleeve. Generally speaking, I'll put sticker-only orders in a regular letter envelope, and everything else will go into a rigid mailer. On both Etsy and Shopify, I put in the dimensions and the weight of my package and let them calculate the shipping cost. Everything I used, including my scale, is in the description. Also, if you have a standing desk, I highly suggest you stand while packaging to save your back. And for good measure, I always put a do not bend sticker on all my orders. They're so beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and walk it to the collection box, and I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys, my website is finally live! Yeah! It has been a family effort. My sister designed it, my brother-in-law coded all the fancier stuff my sister implemented, and my husband helped me with all the tax stuff that stresses me out. They say it takes a village to raise a baby, and this small business is my baby. So thank you for being part of my village and supporting me on this journey. If you guys have time, I would really appreciate it if you checked out the website and gave it some love. My sister is a UX designer, and if you're wondering what in the Xenon girl of the 21st century kind of job is that, I got you. UX stands for user experience. Her job is to have users think as little as possible by reducing friction when going through a website. This leads to more sales. We were really intentional with every decision we made on this website, so let's go through it together. One of the first decisions I made was choosing my domain, which is the main part of your website address. I decided on athart.store because there was a detailed study on .store domains and it resulted in 87% more traffic to your site and 2 times higher ranking on Google. This is because when people go on a .store website, it screams, "Hello, I am a store. I'm not a blog, I'm not a portfolio, buy all the things." Some of your favorite boss babes use .store, like Rihanna. She may not be dropping an album anytime soon, but her merch is pretty fire. Another indie author you might know of named Michelle Obama also uses .store. Like, continue getting your bag, girl. And some of our favorite YouTube artists also use .store, like Uncomfy.co. I actually got my discount code from a YouTuber, and thanks to .store sponsoring this video, I can pay it forward and have my own discount code for my audience. For a limited time, you can get a .store domain for 99 cents. All you have to do is go and get .store and then put my discount code, which is ATH. 99 cents, guys. That is almost free. Speaking of free, when you get your .store domain, you automatically unlock free access to the Plus version of Elevate.store, which is a curated toolkit for sellers like us. On there, you'll find discounts on marketing tools and e-commerce software such as Shopify, Canva, and more. I am so grateful for this opportunity, and I can't wait for us to grow together. The next decision we made was reducing the number of clicks required from the customer to get to the product they want and eventually, hopefully, check out. On the front page, I featured products that were my best sellers and also bundle deals. Underneath these featured products, you also have the price. Additionally, when someone presses the Shop All button, I have all of my items displayed on one page. That way, the customer doesn't have to click through multiple pages, they can just scroll through and see everything at once. Another thing my sister and I prioritized was keeping everything simple and organized. We wanted to avoid consumer choice paralysis and decision fatigue to the best of our ability. While these two problems are not the same, they can be addressed with similar solutions. And that's because they both stem from an overload of options and cognitive effort. On my homepage, I organized everything into categories instead of dumping all my items here. I also have a drop-down menu with categories in it. The reason I did this is because when there are too many options, there are then too many decisions the user has to make, which can lead to frustration, hesitation, and an abandoned cart. Last but not least, I decided to show the markdowns on my bundles. I love providing bundle deals because it encourages your customers to buy more, and they get more value for their money. Displaying markdowns for sales is effective because of the anchoring effect, which is a bias that occurs when a consumer refers to the initial price as the anchor and allows it to influence their subsequent decisions. So when you show a markdown, the new price looks more favorable. If you look at these two price tags, they're the same exact value, but one looks more like a deal than the other. It seems a little manipulative, but it's not. You're just providing a visual aid to inform your consumer of a deal they might not have noticed otherwise. Okay, that was a lot of yapping. I'm gonna reward myself with some boba. I'll be right back. So, my art shop launch didn't go as I planned, but it all fell into place at its own perfect pace. I hate to admit it, but there were many moments I wanted to give up, allow my doubts to win, crawl up into bed, and rot for a week. As a small business owner, you're going to feel a lot like these small critters with big feelings. Except, in addition to those big feelings, you'll also be faced with a big world of skills and knowledge you have yet to learn, and challenges you have yet to conquer. But the challenges are proof of your growth and the courage it takes to step into the unknown. And yes, as adults, it's overwhelming at times. But as children, we looked ahead with excitement, seeing the world as this endless horizon of possibilities. Somewhere along the way, we lost that sense of being limitless, even though we never lost the ability to dream. That may just be the hardest part. I hope that wherever you are in your journey, you never give up, and eventually find yourself in that magical place where your dreams meet your reality. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.